Welcome back to some next level Starcraft 2. Let me introduce you. You might not recognize the players, but playing Zerg is Jim Raynor, QC, the red Zerg. But in the bottom left is Dexter. You'll be like, well, who is that? What is this? Apparently, it's the name of Florencio's dog. And I have it on good authority. This is actually Florencio's dog playing, who Florencio learned all of his many skills from. I'm excited to see what he comes up with this game. But yes, it is Florencio in one form or another. And of course, we already have a pylon, we have a forge, we have a gateway, and we have multiple probes, which sound like what everyone has when they play Protoss, maybe minus the forge, but exceedingly dangerous. And right now, this is a pool first. This is an all-out, early pool. There's no way this should do anything. Florencio did wall off some of the natural. He's going to build some cannons. The pylon down here. We'll see if Jim decides. Nope. Okay, that's interesting. The probes are waiting, watching, lurking. I'm interested to see when Florencio decides to bring these probes into action. There will be a wall. The cannon not quite done. It should be plenty to stop the Zerglings. Okay. There's really no other way to get in here. I guess there's technically the mineral wall, but that takes a couple drones to get through. Takes 4 drone trips. Okay, so now we're here. Florencio was walled off with no expansion, but Dexter... Wait, no. Jim Raynor, the Zerg, also, he's blocked from taking an expansion. So he's decided, I know what we need. More Zerglings and a Baneling nest, obviously. So, a very brute force way of thinking about things. Much like the man himself. He does not prefer to take more bases when he could simply deny his opponent and keep them on less. Florencio has now blocked a secondary base, but that is of no concern because it appears Jim has no interest in taking another base. Well, there is a sentry. I think at this point, even Florencio is getting a little concerned. Of course, he does not partake in the blasphemy that is Warp Gate research, which is obviously an overrated upgrade. Instead, going to be focusing on a Stargate. And he's got a cannon on the high ground. I think at this point, Florencio realizes if my opponent, the Zerg, has been on one base for this long, I cannot expect to hold the wall. Seems a little unrealistic. This is and also, I neglected to mention this. The pylon has just seen dozens of Zerglings coming out. It's not particularly complicated. He just saw constantly Zerglings running by his pylon. So, it doesn't take some sort of prophet to put it all together. Though I'm not saying Florencio is not a prophet, I'm just saying this is not required. Meanwhile, of course, there are probes still on the map, so it's time to expand. After building a void ray. I'm sorry, a Chad ray. Well, void ray number 1 is on the field. Just still more lings. That's a lot of banelings. But the sentry, it only has 1 force field. Well, okay. They're going to try to slip in here. Nice force field. Wow, this is, it seems like he almost perfectly did everything to maximize he maximized the damage of the cannon and spread out the banelings to such a ridiculous extent that they broke through. But past that, So now Jim is sitting at 11 workers, which some might say isn't a great economy. And so would I. Those people who say that are right. Florencio, he's building up his Chad Ray squadron. He's expanded to the obvious natural. There's a fleet beacon on the way. Have you heard of Flux Veins? Has Florencio? That's also a good question. Interesting. He's going to go for a hallucinated Phoenix after the very real Void Race. Florencio will confirm his suspicions. There are indeed very little things to worry about. And now begins the second phase of the match. No, not the mid-game. The mind game. Where you will not only break your opponent's body, but also, very importantly, their spirit. As he now has pylons at the most obvious expansions. A Twilight Council and a Forge on the way alongside 3 new gateways. The Forge is being built at the natural expansion. A single void ray. This probe has waited for its moment. Its moment has not yet come. It's been 7 minutes. A lot of moments have come and gone, but its moment has not yet arrived. The Void Round Patrol. Jim has been left to his own devices. He's skyrocketed up to 19 drones. Finally, the Zerglings will take notice of the pylon on his front doorstep and remove it. Florencio now, like a ball of yarn, or well, honestly, I feel like the way Florencio breaks someone is not like unraveling a ball of yarn. It's not like unfolding I don't know, like an origami crane. But instead it's like popping the bubbles on Bubble Pop. And I'm not talking about Hionis. Alright, bubble wrap, not bubble pop. I'm sorry, Freudian slip there. Just one at a time until they're all gone. Deflated. Sad. Useless, even. Is that a second Twilight Council? Florencio going to be able to upgrade Charge and Blink at the same time, which is very important. The Tactical Nexus. His spirit. So that Creep Tumor will spot, for the moment it lives, the Nexus. The Queens have something to say. Florencio, the discerning man, realizes that charging up his Void Rays does nothing in this scenario. That's the absolute Chad move. Okay. Understanding that Queens are not armored units. And neither are Zerglings. The Tactical Nexus will draw a whole lot of fire. The ultimate base block here. As the Decoy Nexus is canceled. Not that Florencio particularly needed the minerals. This is the moment! This is the moment! That probe was waiting, but this is that moment! It waited! It watched! It lurked! But finally, it placed down another Nexus so the Void Rays could ransack the main. But wait! We're not done! Because as we all know, the third time, The third time is the charm. Do it. Do it. Do it again. Florencio, do it again. Charge and blink, and also both flavors of Templar simultaneously as the tech tree expands like a palm tree. The duel! Oh! Oh my god!
Denied.
He waited until the last possible second! There were no more seconds! And he's walling the queens up! The probe! You shall not pass! No! He's putting himself in the safe zone! No touching! Uh-oh. Oh, they're angry. They're angry. Oh, the gate! No! Oh, he had to get too close. His fight has ended, but his moment was glorious. And will be remembered with severe trauma in the mind of Jim Raynor QC. The Zerglings. The repowering of the Cyber is quite an epic story in and of itself. Beautiful force field. He goes for 2. Doesn't quite perfectly nail it, but the Queen still chrono boosting out the children of the probe. These probes inspired, they heard legends. The legacy of the probe. And his firstborn probe will die, but get 2 pylons. And his brother. A nexus! And so the family line of probes continue. The Void Rays are here to protect this legacy. The probe! It does it again! The duel continues. Jim is now upgrading a lair. The probe still stands. I will reclaim everything I have lost. I will not be stopped. Not by the queens, not by the spores, not by anyone. I will build this nexus or see the creep destroyed before me. Oh my god. And he slips out. Don't do it! No! He flew too close! The line of probes has finally ended. The Void Ray is looking to sacrifice itself to snipe the drone. Charging it up does nothing besides look dramatic. Oh, and finally, at the 14-minute mark, Jim Raynor QC, the Zerg, will take his expansion. He has 2,300 minerals in the bank. He just recalled DTs to his tactical expansion nexus. Warp Gate, never heard of it. Don't want any part of that. Beautiful DTs with their beautiful scythes. Blink and charge and +1 armor, paradoxically, is done. Looking to finish what the probe started. That was the Franz Ferdinand of probes. And these are the samurai warriors of DTs. It's a weird timeline. The hatchery will never complete. Florencio will break. And now I gotta give credit. Despite everything. And all of that. Jim Raynor typed GG. Florencio, what did you think? Well, that was the legacy of the probes. A long-lasting, and okay, we'll make it a double feature. I was gonna try to wrap it up, but I lost track of my sentence. And now, Rage. Don't worry, I can just cut it right here in case this is trash. Welcome back to some more next level StarCraft 2. We have, anonymously under the name of his most beloved canine friend and mentor, it is Florencio, going by Dexter. And in the top left, the Zerg Challenger, Inferno Boss. What a name, though, right? Like, that sounds like a nickname for a Doom boss. Did you beat the Inferno boss? No, I'm still stuck on the third level where you have to kill all the guys. Like, dude, that level's so easy. All you have to do is 34 things in a row perfectly. It's like, okay, come on, man. Nobody likes a guy like you. Nobody likes people who are like, oh, it's so easy. I practiced for 48 months and I finally was able to pull it off perfectly. Like, what were you doing? Going outside? Don't you know we're supposed to say inside? Anyways, there's a proxy hatch. So, Florencio, I think, has misread this mildly, which is weird to say. He's seen the timing of the spawning pool and has correctly realized these cannons will get up. But the reason that spawning pool is on the later side is because Inferno Boss has invested in a hatchery on the other side of the map. I don't know if, well, he's looking, he's finding. Has Florencio been caught unawares? Has he been caught off guard? There's plenty of gas here. Inferno Boss, uh-oh. I think he saw the cannons before he remembered what his build was supposed to be. He doesn't have a roach horn on the way. A roach horn, a key component of actually using the proxy hatch when you're mining from two gases. He's gonna start the lair. The cannons will actually work their way forward. One step at a time. Zealot versus Queen. The Zealot wins. But the Queen, alright, ring around the hatchery. The Zealot, one has more legs than the other, but only one of them has a legs upgrade. Think about that. Alright, the micro, intense. The Zealot, oh, he jukes backwards. Oh, but what an outmaneuver, and here comes the Stalker. The Queen, taken out. And suddenly the duel continues. That is a shield battery on the way, going to be very useful here. A Nidus as well. A little bit of everything all over the map. One Ravager, 4 Roaches, still not a devastating. Like, once the Ravager count gets high enough, the Corrosive Bow is a real threat against the static defenses. And Florencio, as a true non-believer in Warp Gate, will not be able to warp things in anywhere else. He's got to build out of these gates. A little supply block. That's a lot of roaches and ravagers. Oh, the micro almost killing a stalker. Takes out the zealot. Meanwhile, an overseer is done. We're in an awkward scenario, though, because the Nidus network is in the main base of Inferno Boss, which means he can't put the roaches and ravagers from his proxy hatch into the Nidus. So it appears he's going to walk all the roaches and ravagers across the map into the Nidus, but there's cannons. This seems like maybe an ill-advised move from Inferno Boss here, completely abandoning his hatchery, but we will have to see. So now Inferno Boss, in order to get into the Nidus, has to get through. Well, there's only the pylon. Like, he can take down the pylon. It's not going to take that long. Whatever happened to the Overseer? Overseer's still alive. I think Florencio. Oh, there's a changeling that made it in. I think Florencio's starting to realize what's going down. Down go the cannons. Everyone's supply blocked. A few drones made it home. He's reclaiming his base. Florencio is expanding. Where did that Overseer go? Gasp. 2 Stargates on the way. Like, if there was ever a time for a Nidus, now would be it. Now is the time. Inferno Boss is struggling. He's trying to put things together. He's got the Nidus. And where does he put it? Okay. Yep, click it. Click the button. Oh my god. Florencio, he sees it. He knows. It was within vision. And the stalkers will kill it. Inferno Boss taking too long to get on this train. It's already left the station. Oh, well, he recalls his stalkers, which is a interesting move. Wait, is that a stalker-tight wall? I don't even think so. I think he could have just walked up. We're going to find out soon, I think, when those stalkers eventually walk down the ramp. So now, in a dramatic turn, Inferno Boss will use the dying moments of the larva to get vision of the front, where he had a hatchery originally, but now will only have a Nidus. Can the stalkers get down the... What? Yeah, he could have just walked, but those stalkers and their hoity-toity stalker legs just wanted to take the first-class recall trip. Meanwhile, Florencio has done the math. He's figured out where the Nidus could not be, but still, a whole lot of roaches and ravagers. Shield battery's good, not good enough. There's not quite enough to straight up break through here, I don't think. There's gonna be void rays. One Chad ray's already done. Inferno Boss is, I mean, the worker counts are kind of even. This is a dangerous game from both sides. Oh, a Stalker's going to try to take down a Ravager, but both pop out in a complete and severe miscalculation. That was actually about worst case scenario. Neither side wants to fight each other, though. They've had enough of the fighting. This is a problem for Inferno Boss, because now the Void Rays show up, making things much more confusing and much harder as well. The Void Rays could kill the Nidus, but the Ravagers are killing the Stalkers as the Void Rays kill the Nidus, and then the Ravagers are caught between the Stalkers and the Void Rays. Okay. Looks like the Ravagers have signed a non-aggression pact, meaning that they will no longer be fighting the Stalkers. Florencio almost lost a Void Ray to Corrosive Bile! This is getting real confusing, but there's still he's got a couple. Will he mic? Yes, okay. So all the Stalkers and all the Ravagers died. The survivors, 2 Void Rays. As usual. Okay. And of course, Florencio has a probe, just waiting for its moment. It's all about that moment. Sometimes it's just building a Nexus. Sometimes it's building 3. More gateways in production. A Twilight Council. Oh. Hey guys, hurry up my life. That changeling found out. How did he know? There's a whole lot in the net. Like, at some stage, you could have walked all of the units across the map. And just, like, how many? That's 4, going on 5. But wait, this Nidus is gonna finish. Oh no, he charges up! Transfuse! Oh, the save! But there's no more... The only one queen popped out. The Void Rays are charged, which means they won't... He's actually gonna lose a couple probes, but... Of all the things... And now, Inferno Boss has confirmed that he will always have a Nidus form. He says, well, I'm gonna get this Nidus and you can't stop me. And the way he's gonna pull that off is by putting it in his natural. Technically correct. And now Florencio, the panic. You gotta panic. Where could it be? Florencio will never expect that next level play. There's not really enough Hydras. Ooh, this Hydra might give things away. So, in a weird turn of events, the Hydras are on the wrong side of the map. He's gonna need to Nidus back to his natural. Florencio with a line of cannons. There's now 6 Void Rays and 2 Phoenixes. If he doesn't get in the Nidus! Or out, depending on how you look at it. Well, I guess we're base trading. This is what's happening. Everybody, you know, at some point, the Nidus does count as a building for a base trade, by the way. This is important. Where are the transfuses on the Hydras? The shield battery's out of energy. A recall is going to be very important, but there's not actually enough Void Rays right now. Oh, he's building so many cannons in the main. He needs those cannons. There's also oracles. The main base is gone. Inferno Boss is down to 11 workers. He's got enough for another hatch, but only just. Oh, no, Florencio is... He's ready. He's got some cannons. Oh, those stasis. One stasis. Thankfully, the Zerglings are the ones who find it. There's a whole bunch of cannons. That just made this way, way, way more difficult. He built as many cannons as he could. The oracles are out. There will be no more units built. He can recall. If there was ever a tough... He's working on all the buildings. He recalls just the Void Rays. Inferno Boss has not rebuilt his base and is being revealed. He's had a convoluted back and forth with the Nidus. Florencio still has a main base. And is it time? Is now that moment? As he scouts the base, that if ever there were a moment, that moment. Moving on. The Void Rays. There are no shield batteries, friends. You might want to invest. He doesn't have much money. Inferno Boss has now rebuilt his base and is no longer being revealed. A slow push. Energy at a premium here on both sides. Stalkers being produced. He's supply blocked, though. He can't really build enough Stalkers. There are just enough Hydras that I think, like in a straight-up fight with good transfuses, I think Inferno Boss wins. Because a bruised Void Ray, a lot of Hydras, a lot of Queen energy... But the I guess technically, well, Florencio's learning what it is to be unsupply blocked. His base has been found out. There's a single Void Ray. The rambunctious drones. Wait, if he cancels, is that his last building? No. He can't cancel himself out of the game. Not yet. Oh no. He's found the drones. The Hydras are coming back. Oh. No, it's right there! Shoot it! Oh my god. Almost microed himself out of a void ray kill. Oh, but the drone's on the other side. The drones really want... No, 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 come back for us. We don't want to live with this guy anymore. He has no respect. Meanwhile, Brenda... What are you guys? Oh! Oh, somebody get on the keyboard. We need to tell him. Oh, I'm so angry. We got plenty of time. It's still gonna be like 15 minutes till we get back home. Good. Trash idiot, that's you. Fuck off. I like how he made sure to avoid the mature language filter. Okay. Thank you for being specific, Inferno Boss. We weren't sure who he was talking about at the start, but now we are. He's made it clear. Meanwhile, Oracle's uh-oh. And the drone count. There were already precious few, and now there's precious fewer. He's down to 1. Was it worth it? And now for the true game. There's a dark shrine on the way, by the way. He will not be able to see his death. It will come, and he won't be able to stop it. There's no spawning pool. There's no lair. There's not even a hope of detection. There's creep spread that will see these probes mining as he uses Revelation to clear it. One Dark Templar. What is that? Florencio this game has messed with him as well. He has researched Warpgate. But the winning DT... Oh, he canceled! Oh, Florencio. He canceled the DT with like 5 seconds left. I guess when your opponent has been revealed, maybe then's an okay time. The Blank Stalkers, just send in the deets. Just send the deets. The tag team duo. It's Cloakus and Slicer. Could have done better. But the Slicer is short for Sliconius, which was a weird name for his parents to give him. Meanwhile, there's still several buildings in case Infernal Boss... Oh my god. Cloakus stealing all the kills. And that's it. Infernal Boss has had enough. He taps it out. No more Nidus Worms to jump into or jump out of. Florencio brings it all the way around the map and back home again. Well, is it really a victory? Is it not? Leave your comments. Check out Florencio most days that end in day. And like and subscribe and ring the bell. And you can get notified for the video that comes out every day. Anyways on this channel. Or stream. Or whatever. But do it anyways. Because then I get more money. Thank you for watching. Good luck. And have fun.